you're not in Texas anymore, Dorothy, you know? So if someone calls angrily as a neighbor, you know, I don't agree with your survey, we'll usually say something like, the survey is just a factual based opinion of where the line is. It's supported by fact only. It's not that we're on your neighbor's side because they hired us. We're not beholden to them to do the survey in the way they want it. But even our own client doesn't get to choose where we put the line. Mm-hmm. The line is where the line is. Because if there is somebody that makes a report on us that is negative, I follow up with them to make sure that there's good reason for it to be negative, for one. Try to resolve it, to get them to retract that 2-star rating. Where you want to follow up, I followed up, I picked up the phone and I said, hey, I see this review you gave us. Is there something I can do to help have you retract that review? Because really it's just that you don't agree with the price that I gave you for our services. It's not that you got our service and had a survey that you didn't agree with. It's just that things are expensive, and the phone reigns supreme. Yeah, we did phone calls, and you know, answer politely, and you answer all the questions they have on the survey. But you try to get them what they need for. General rule is just be courteous, be responsive to what they're wanting, be polite, don't be dismissive. If they call back angrily about something, do your best to keep a level head, just hear them out and try to see their point of view on it if there's a disagreement. Just to give them your fullest attention, have attentiveness to them and sussing out what they need. If they see that you're trying to help them get their goals without overdoing it, you know, there's a continuing conversation until it gets to a point where we know that makes sense what you're asking for and that should accomplish your goals. The general rule though, just kind of be courteous and don't get into like a heated argument with them, because that doesn't do anyone justice. You also want to be keeping up on your reputation in the community. There's enough client base with our name in our local, county, that there doesn't really need to be a website when it's more about, heard your name from my neighbor, right? He had good service, I want to hire you. Or find out that after 40 years in the county here, that there's enough client base that'll call you and keep the work flowing. So there's no real urgent need to have a website to advertise your services. We don't really work on an advertisement basis. I do a little bit. We need to keep track of what we said to people. We also keep track for when people expect us to be there. It's a big thing as well. When they order the survey, we try to give them a date for when they would expect us to be there, and we'll do everything we can to make that date happen, because they might be staying home from work to observe the survey and ask us questions. Down in the minutes sometimes, like when exactly are you going to show up? And we have this, generally we'll show up at 8 a.m. type of thing that we email them back. This is keeping the appointment date that you've set up with them, and not exceeding the price that you quoted them. Again, we don't exceed our prices. Just holding to your word of what they were told. And honesty is the best policy, right? So there's a lot of knowing what type of survey they're doing and why. The purpose of the survey is crucial for us to be able to help them determine what they actually need from us. And being attentive to people that are serious and have good reason to get a survey and that type of thing. I've learned that when you ask other surveyors for information, you give them an address, you tell them why, you give them as much information up front as possible, instead of just, surveyors don't want to disagree with each other. That just creates conflicts. We want to agree with our competitor, and we don't want to get into fights with other surveyors about where the line should be. There's a stake that says Christie and Christie, and it's got a phone number here. They got a survey from them, so maybe I will too. That's
No, thank you, John.
Hey, it's been a pleasure, you guys, and love to do this type of thing every so often.
Yeah.
So
Thank you both of y'all for your time.
You got it.
Yeah, this is well appreciated.
yeah.